welcome to the Shelley Studio, and today I am making, this will be my third attempt at the fantasy landscape project. This time I decided to go with what I feel I do best, which is collage background and then paint on it. So those papers that I just tore up are brayered off pages in a magazine. So when I do my jelly printing, I run the brayer off on an old magazine and then just flip the pages, and you know, it's got stenciling like smashed on there, just random stuff. And I just took, what was it, 4 pages that looked like they would go maybe together, and that's what I'm going with. And I'm using, for my substrate, I am using the back of a watercolor paper pack. I've just had it sitting around and figured, why not? And I'm not really thinking about the placement of my papers except to have them spread around so they're not all lumped, the colors aren't all lumped together. I'm not thinking sky or ground or water or anything at this point. I am just slapping it on. I think with that very first one up in the left hand corner I was thinking sky, but with the rest of it, nope, we are just putting it around. So at this point I don't really know what I'm going to do. I know I want to do paint over the top of it, and in the end I just stencil over the top of it. You'll see. Anyway, so it was a lot of collaging as usual when you stick all those pieces on. And just so you know, that board, it's like chipboard stuff, was very absorbent, so it was really kind of difficult to get the pieces of paper to stick. If you do use it in this fashion, you might want to just give it a coat of matte medium or a coat of gesso or something to kind of seal that surface, let that dry, and then collage onto it. It'd probably be a lot easier to stick stuff down. As it was, I used a ton of matte medium just to get things to stick. Adding black in a few random places and some yellow. There we go. Oh yeah, there's a little bit more chipboard showing right there and right there. Okay, so I let this dry and then trimmed the edges, so here it is. And I gathered some stencils that I thought would work, maybe. I only end up using maybe 3 or 4. So if you saw my watercolor fantasy landscape, it was from that movie. I'm not saying it because I don't want to get ding dong copyright. Anyway, so I thought that stencil would look a little bit like architecture, but in the end it doesn't really, I don't think. And then this looks like elven handwriting, maybe? I was not going to freehand that, so I had this stencil with kind of fancy lettering, and this is all just background. In fact, I don't think you see much of the lettering in the end. You just see blue, little bits of blue. I guess if you looked really hard, you could tell it was lettering, but there we go. Now the left side has some black already on it, so I wanted to add black marks in other places, so that's why I went with that one. And then I decided the tree would be kind of cool. And the stencil is so pretty. I just wish the result of stenciling through it was as pretty as the top. trying to remember where I got it. I'm sure I got it at Michael's. But once I lift this up, you'll see. I mean, that looks like a full pretty tree, right? And you lift it up and it's like sparse. I guess if you were going for a dead tree with not a lot of leaves, I don't know. Anyways, you'll see when I lift it up. See? There is nothing there. That's it. Alright. So I've got my textured sponge and we're just going to put the leaves on ourselves. Forget the stencil. We used it for the trunk. And of course, this is just craft paint. I have some Craft Smart and some, I believe that other one is probably Apple Barrel. We're helping out that trunk a little bit so we can actually see the branches. And then I want to make that look like it's on something. So there's our little hill. Is it starting to look like that other one? I like this one much better. And my plan was to turn it into a blanket. So I actually did. I uploaded this to Society 6 and converted it to the file that it needed for a blanket. And I ordered it, and that's what my uncle is getting. I hope it looks good. It's really bright colors. I think it's going to be great. In fact, I just got an email saying they shipped, so I'm excited to see what it turned out like. And if you follow me on Instagram, yeah, I think it's safe. He doesn't get on social networking. I will post a picture of it on Instagram when I get it. How's that? And if you want, you know what? I'll put the link to Society 6 down below, and you can check it out there. And yeah, I didn't like what happened there, so I'm cleaning it off. I think I was too heavy-handed in the paint. And I really wanted the lines rather than the squares, so I decided maybe I'd just put some paint on the lines and then smush it down. Does that look like a bridge? It looks like a bridge. And then I'm just putting those random marks wherever. Okay. And I thought I wanted flowers on here, and I keep messing with these, and I don't think they're getting better. I didn't want traditional stenciled flower. I didn't want it to be too florally. This is for a guy, after all. There we go. Just working those branches a little bit more. Decided we needed to see the trunk of the tree on this side too. I just had to put a little bit over there just to kind of balance things out a little bit. Alright. Now that these flowers are dry, I thought I'd try and put a little blue in there, since I smeared that yellow everywhere. That makes them a little bit less flower in your face, maybe? I don't know. It's all fun. You know, I've have a few blankets at Society 6. I've done a few paintings, and you know, it is so much fun to get the blanket and see what it looks like on this big blanket. I know that sounds crazy, but it's so much fun. Ooh, and it's a Sherpa too, so it's nice and soft. Alright, I can't remember what I'm doing with the white. Hasn't been that long. Alright, we're making... Oh, I think I just wanted to brighten up some areas. So that we got a little bit more sky. There we go. Digging through my stencils. Now this stencil, I decided that bridge was going over a river, and to make it look like water I needed some white streaks, and I decided I would just use my stencil to create those white streaks. Why not? This is super abstract. And then I had to have it somewhere else, so that could be water over there. I don't know. Alright, so I'm helping the bridge a little bit look like a bridge. In the movie, it's a stone bridge, so gray I thought was the right color to use. And I'm trying to make that look more like a cliff. And then dull the back so it looks like it's going away. Highlights on the bridge. You probably don't need a play-by-play. Yeah, sorry. Here it's just a rocky cliff, so I'm just trying to make it look like rocks. Going back and forth with the light and the dark. I haven't really figured out where the light's coming from, so yeah, those highlights are everywhere. Wasn't sure how to represent the architecture over here, so I put in a tree to kind of cover it up. Figured I needed a little tree on the other side too. And I think my hand's a little shaky. That tree's looking a little bit like the Whomping Willow over there. Hashtag catch the reference. Is that a thing? I think James Burke always does that. Hashtag something. Anyway. Alright, I was thinking I was turning that into a little bit of a rock. And I end up putting a person. See? There's the person. And then I put another person over on by the tree, just to add something interesting, a little, oh, and a little person down there, just little things to go, oh, look what I found. I mean, the piece is so busy, but I think as a blanket, I think it'll be great. I like it as a picture too. I should have ordered 2 blankets. They were on sale for Black Friday. Or Cyber Monday, that's when I ended up ordering it. And now it's a fantasy landscape, so I thought Imagine worked well. Trying to figure out where to sign it. And then I decide I want to put a little bit of black just around the edges. I'm not shading it so much as just putting black on right on the edge. So you see black instead of the brown cardboard edge. Well, what do y'all think? Did you like it? Give me your comments down below. Tell me what you think. I like it. I think it turned out. It's a little crazy, but that's what I like. Hit like if you liked it, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you'd like to see more, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can get the reminders when I upload. Thanks for watching!